All right, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a bit of a different type of video because I am just going to talk about two legendary heavyweight champions in George Foreman and Iron Mike Tyson. Two of the best heavyweights that there ever were. If you don't believe that, I don't know what you're doing. But we're going to talk about them and something George Foreman told Mike Tyson from experience. Stay your behind at home. Do not come out of retirement. Let's talk about that in this video. All right. Welcome back, man. Two of, one very, very underrated heavyweight, although he's a great heavyweight, has a message for another very, very great heavyweight, though I think slightly overrated. Not a lot, but a little overrated. And that is George Foreman being the underrated one and Mike Tyson being a slightly overrated one. George Foreman tells Mike Tyson, do not come out of retirement, man. Do not come out of retirement. Mike Tyson, so why would he have to tell Mike Tyson that? We've done a video about it before, but let me let you know let me let you know here in case you have not seen the video before. Mike Tyson was hinting and playing. First of all, Mike Tyson had a piece of paper on fire and hanging out of his mouth, right? With smoke emitting from it. While he said that he was training and thinking about a comeback. Now, he said he would like to do a couple exhibition matches, but then he wants to get out there. And George Foreman is saying, look, man, no, do not do that. Now, for George Foreman to say that, I think is significant because George Foreman had come out of retirement to fight and eventually won a heavyweight championship when he knocked out Michael Moorer, who had defeated. I think Michael Moorer defeated Evander Holyfield to become the heavyweight champion. He was an excellent cruiserweight, southpaw cruiserweight. I think he was trained by, pretty sure he was trained by Teddy Atlas. But excellent fighter, Michael Moorer. Definitely at the cruiserweight, one of the more underrated cruiserweights, by the way. People always talk about who the great cruiserweights are. They bring up Evander Holyfield. They bring up Alexander Usyk. And for some strange reason, people leave Michael Moorer out of that equation. That dude is very, very difficult to fight, was a very good fighter. And he was beating George Foreman until George Foreman laid that hammer on the top of his head like boop, and the fight was over. And George Foreman became the heavyweight champion again, a full 10 years. Was it 10, 12 years after he had last fought? Because I do believe that was somewhere around the 1987, 1988 time frame, somewhere around there. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in that particular time frame, but I don't think that was into the 90s. But regardless, Floyd, he comes back, he beats Michael Moorer, and and the rest is history. Mike Tyson and George Foreman are not in that same. They're not in the same situation. These are drastically different situations. Number one, George Foreman never really took a lot of abuse in his career. He got knocked out and beat up by Muhammad Ali, but for the majority of his career, he was just knocking people out and not taking a lot of punishment. He never really hit a period of his career where he was taking a lot of abuse from fighters. Mike Tyson towards the second and the last third of his career took a lot of punishment. Took a lot of punishment from Evander Holyfield twice. Took a lot of punishment from Buster Douglas. Took a lot of punishment from Lennox Lewis. Towards the end of his career, took a lot of punishment from, I do believe, if it wasn't Chris, I think he knocked out Etienne, but the guy from the UK who is still fighting, I can't remember his name. I know he's a good friend I can't remember his name, man. But he is a big, not a tremendously big, Danny Williams. I think that's Danny Williams, and he took a lot of punishment from Danny Williams. I think he took a lot of punishment from Peter McNeely later on in his career. So Mike Tyson, and you can tell by the way that Mike Tyson speaks versus the way that George Foreman speaks that one guy took a lot of abuse and the other guy didn't take a lot of abuse. So, and there was a very long rest period for George Foreman, and he wasn't so far out of his prime. He's like he's in his mid 40s. He might have been 43, 44 years old, something at the time when he did it. He's not like Mike Tyson is, who's now 53. Who's 53, 54 years old. You know what I mean? Mike Tyson is a decade away from being a senior citizen. You know what I mean? He's closer to being a senior citizen than he is to being 40. So, nah, man, it's not going to happen. And also, the styles of the two fighters are so much different. Mike Tyson relied a lot on speed and elusiveness, specifically upper body elusiveness and hand speed. And with that much time off, with that much abuse that he took in the last part of his career, you cannot expect for him to come back. That's just not going to go well. It's not going to go well at all. So what George Foreman tells you, it tells him is great advice. Now, I also assume that George Foreman would tell Mike Tyson this as well. This is what I hope for Mike Tyson. Really hope for Mike Tyson. That Mike Tyson continues to do what he is doing, and he's doing it very, very well right now. I'm telling you, man, I really do think he is. Number one, he's got a commercial business that his name is on. I don't know if it's really his business or whether his name is just on it. Now, I suspect that it really is. His name is on it, and he's probably getting a cut, but he's got other people that are managing it, other people that are doing it, people that wanted to invest it but use his name for celebrity. That's not too much different than what George Foreman did with the George Foreman Grill. I don't believe, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, that George Foreman invented that grill. George Foreman, who was, at the time that grill was coming out, had become the heavyweight champion again. He had become a commercial success. He was no longer the grumpy, stern, stone-faced George Foreman. He was the smile. You couldn't get the smile off his face. Totally switched it up, became commercial. He's a really, really big dude who had a very big name, and people associated the grill with his name. The grill worked too, by the way. That's another thing the comparison between the two. Mike Tyson got a product that works, that people want, and George Foreman had a product that worked, that people want. I still have a George Foreman grill. Them suckers work. You slap a hamburger on the mug, slap them down, press them down, that grease flows off, boop, you got a burger. That works. Say Mike Tyson's product, not that I partake anymore, but let me assure you, it works. And there's a lot of people that are very interested in buying it. So Mike Tyson, please make sure your business is together, that you know what your cut is, and that you're getting paid the money you're supposed to get paid. If at some point in time, your name, they ain't acting right, hopefully there's something in your agreement that allows you to take your name off of it, which will jack that scenario up for them if they don't give you more money. Or go find yourself, get with Rick Ross. Get with Rick Ross, who's got licenses in California for those dispensaries. Hook up with Rick Ross, smack it together, dog. Make a bunch of money, enjoy your life, dog, but don't get back in there. Don't get back in there with them young boys, and get your head taken off, because that would just be a really, really ugly scenario, man. Now, if he did the exhibitions, though, I kind of like, man. Like, I don't think that there would be anything wrong with Mike Tyson. Say Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield decide that they're going to give an exhibition, sparring match. You know what I mean? Like, and even if that could be in the lead up to a fight, one of these closed fights, because when the fights come back, people aren't going to be able to, there might not be audiences for a while because, of all this testing and stuff that needs to go down. But to get interest to fights that might not otherwise be interesting, to get Mike Tyson out there, if he gets in shape, get Evander Holyfield out there and have these guys have like a legend sparring match, dude, with some jokes and some, whatever, dude, that would be fun. And it could get people's attention onto the sport. It could allow Mike Tyson to do something that he probably really wants to do more than anything else, which is walk down, have people cheer for him, walking down, walk down with his towel, with his, with the cutoff towel over his head, in the black and white, have Evander Holyfield come down the aisle, have the crowd, you can't even have the crowd cheer, so that wouldn't work. But anyway, maybe just give him the ability to do that to a certain extent. Maybe that would be fun. And if, but then again, as I think about it, with no crowds, he's not going to hear the roar. But shoot, do what DAZN did and pump noise into there. Because trust me, people think that with no crowds, right, that, there won't be any noise. Man, I saw DAZN when DAZN first started. They would have fights in those and have those camera angles. There wasn't nobody in there, but the crowd noise was, my man, dude, I would look at what DAZN was. I would look at the screen and ain't nobody moving their mouth, but listen to the sound and there ain't nothing but cheers continually going on and on and on. Man, get up out of here. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done with this one, man. Mike Tyson, do not go back into that ring. Take George Foreman's advice. Do your thing, sell your stuff, do your interviews. Stick with Mike Tyson's Hot Boxing. That's a really, really good show. People love to hear Mike Tyson talk. Keep on doing it. Do not get beat up by some cat like Dillian White or, Dave Allen or somebody like that. Make their name off of you, man. Bump all of that. Anyway, it is what it is. And with that, I'm out. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Peace.